everybody. Dan Illman here with the DRFBets race of the day for Wednesday, October the 16th. It's race number 7 at Belmont Park. We're going 3/4 of a mile for fillies and mares, an entry-level allowance race. Before I get to the analysis, remember that Belmont Fall Championship Meet Clocker reports now available at DRF.com. Mike Welsh and his expert team of clockers, they grade every single morning workout for these major races. Major race of the day is major Breeders' Cup preps, and it's a very important handicapping addendum to your past performances. Extremely helpful with first-time starters, European imports, horses returning off long layoffs, etc. Here's the field for race number 7 at Belmont on Wednesday. You can access free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Download them and handicap along with me. Let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector. They've got the 3, Eliseo, out there on the early lead, pressured by the 1 break curfew, also the 5, Concerned. I would throw the 2 Hour Circle of Love in that mix as well. I would not be surprised that even in a short field, this pace could get hot early. Our Circle of Love was on the lead in her last race. Concerned, the 5, was on the lead with very slow fractions. She's likely going to have to get a little bit faster in the early portion to stay close. So perhaps we could switch out the 2 and the 5 in that Timeform US Pace Projector. We'll start with the morning line favorite. That's the 1 break curfew, 2-1 on the morning line. Claimed 2 starts back by Steve Asmussen. They put her in a tough spot. The graded Prioress at Saratoga. She had a kind of a tough trip. She was pushing the odds-on favorite break-even through solid fractions on the outside. She softened break-even enough for the closers, but she just didn't have much kick. She was probably overmatched in that race, a 21-1 shot in a 5-horse field. She now drops to an appropriate level. We know she has speed from the inside, and she's probably the horse to beat, although I'm not sure I would really want to take a very short price on her, and she is 2-1 on the morning line. The 2 is Our Circle of Love. We're going to go back to her most recent race at Saratoga, and you see her, she's been on the lead since probably about the 3/8 pole. She was pressing on the outside. She opens up a clear lead. Arafana is going to run her down. Arafana has been very visually impressive in her races, and she came out of this race to win at Laurel with an 80 Beyer speed figure. We see that Our Circle of Love is easily second best in this race. She should appreciate turning back to the 6 furlong distance on Wednesday, but it's worth noting she has suffered from seconditis throughout her career. 8 starts, 5 runner-up efforts. Our Circle of Love, Johnny Velasquez retains them out. She can be close to the pace. The number 3 is Eliseo. Timeform US again believes that Eliseo will make the pace. Eliseo in her most recent start, we'll watch now. This race was at Belmont Park, and we see her now on the outside attacking the 3 wide. This was an okay field. It was only her second start of the year, and I think you can make the argument that Eliseo is slowly rounding back into her best form as she makes her 3rd start of the form cycle. It's worth noting that she won her 3rd lifetime start last year as a 2-year-old filly. This was a perfectly fine race for her 2nd start back. She can make the lead. She can sit off of it. I think Eliseo is an intriguing contender at 4-1 on the morning line. Formulator fact for the number 4, that's Shankha, also trained by Steve Asmussen, as is the morning line favorite. Past 5 years, older horses, aged 3-year-olds and up, adding Lasix on dirt. We've got 28% winners, a $2.32 ROI. Shankha is shipping in from Dubai. She has not raced since March. Obviously, she's getting Lasix for the first time. She has just been dull in her last few races, and perhaps the Lasix is really all she needs to wake up. But off of this long layoff in a short field, I want to take a wait-and-see approach with her, even at a big price. I think she's going to be out-sprinted early. She might have a little bit too much to do in the stretch. The 5 is Concerned. We're going to watch her career debut, a winning one for trainer Mark Henning. She was able to get to the lead and the inside. Here's Concerned on the turn, and she didn't have to go very fast in this race. It was slightly pressured with a couple of other horses. I do like the way she finished this race off, however. Jose Lezcano really just asks her for run right here, and she spurts away from this field. Soft trip, not the strongest field in the world, but a rather convincing and visually impressive win with a good figure of 81. Now, Dave Grenning in his DRF article for this race, the race advance available free at DRF.com, mentioned that Concerned has missed time since that race with a hock injury. She draws a good attack outside post position. She's probably going to have to go faster. These are tougher horses. She's 5-2 on the morning line. I like that debut. I think she can improve off of it. 5-2 is a little bit light. The 6 is Sinwan. Sinwan faced tough company last time out. That was at Saratoga on July the 24th. The winner of that race came back to run third in the Grade 2 Prioress with an 83 Beyer speed figure. Sinwan picks up Irad Ortiz outside post position, another one that can work out a nice trip while in the clear. And this filly, I think, is just getting a hidden class drop. That allowance race was very, very tough. This allowance race, probably not as tough. She is going to have to deal with a little bit of a layoff in here, but Sinwan has some upset capabilities at 6-1 on the morning line. We'll take a look at my top selection for this race. I was very impressed visually by Concerned. The problem is the 5-2 morning line. I think she's going to drift off of that. I probably would not bet Concerned at anything less than 4-1 or 7-2, especially because she's stepping up in class. She's facing a different pace situation, and Mr. Grenning mentioned that hock injury in his race advance. I did like the way she finished it off. I think she can sit a decent trip on the outside. I went 5-1, 2, and 3 in our Wednesday DRF Bets race of the day. And as an approximate post time of 4:40 Eastern, good luck.